हेलो स्टूडेंट, हमारे चैनल माय ऑडियो क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। Kailash Babu, our neighbor, is the last relic of an extinct magnificence. Before he grew up, his family had very nearly reached its lowest ebb. When his father died, there was one dangling outburst of funeral extravagance, and then insolvency. What little ready money that was the over was altogether influenced to keep up the past ancestral splendors. Kailash Babu left Nayanjore and came to Calcutta. In Calcutta, we are Kailash Babu's neighbors. I ought to have noticed one sort by vaccinations to words Kailash Babu except myself. Indeed, it would have been difficult to find an old man who did less harm than he. He was always ready with his kindly little acts of conceit in times of sorrow and joy. He would join in all the ceremony and religious observances of his neighbors. His familiar smile would greet young and old alike. His politeness in asking details about domestic affairs was untiring. The friends who met him in the street were perforce ready to be buttonholed, while a long string of questions of each kind followed and another from his lips. My dear friends, I am delighted to see you. You are quite well. How is Sasi? And Dada? Is he all right? Do you know? I have only just heard that Madhu's son has got fever. How is he? Have you heard? And Hari Chatan Babu, I have only not seen him for a long time. I hope he is not ill. What's the matter with Rakhal? And how are ladies of your family? The neighborhood soon learns to call him their Thakur Dada. They would flock to his house and sit with him for hours today, to prevent in incurring any expense. One or other of his friends would bring him tobacco and say, Thakur Dada, his morning some tobacco was sent to me from Gaya. Do take it and see how you like it. Thakur Dada would take it and say it was excellent. He would then go on a certain inquesting tobacco which they once smoked in the old days of Nayanjore at the coast of Guiana Onans. I wonder, he used to say, if anyone would like to try it now, I have some left and can get it once. Everyone know that if they asked for it, then somehow or other of key of the cupboards would be missing, or else Ganesh, his old family servant, had put it away somewhere. How neighbor can be sure, he would add, where things go to when servants are about. Now this Ganesh of mine, I can't tell you what a fool of he is, but I haven't the heart to dismiss him. Ganesh, for the credit of the family, was quite ready to bear all the blame without a word. One of the company usually said at this point, Never mind, Thakur Dada, please don't trouble to look for it. This tobacco we are smoking will do quite well. The other would be too strong. Thought I am the son of a rich man and might have wasted time at college. My industry was such that I took my MA degree in Kolkata. When quite young, my moral character was Florence Edison. My onwards appearances was so handsome that if I were to call myself beautiful, it might be thought a mark of self-estimation, but could not be considered as untruth. There could be no questions that among the young men of Bengal I was regarded my parents generally as a very eligible match. I was myself quite clear on the point and had determined to obtain my full value in the marriage market. When I pictured my choice, I had before my mind a wealthy father's only daughter, extremely beautiful and highly educated, proposals come pouring into my from far and near. Wooden chair, and he asked the Salat Sahib to be seated. He then made a high-flown speech in Urdu and ancient court knowledge of the servant. He presented on the golden salwar a string of gold mathur, the last radicals of his broken fortune. The old family servants Ganesh, with an experiences away bordering on terror, stood behind with the skates sprinkling. My friends, with his stock silk hat on, very gravely noted. I need hardly say that, according to English custom, the hat ought to have been removed inside the room. But my friend did not dare to take it off for fear of detonation. And Kailas Babu and his bold servant Ganesh were sublimely unconscious of the breach of etiquette. After a 10 minutes interview, which consisted chiefly of nodded the head, my friends rose to his feet to depart. The two flawlessly the livery as had been planned beforehand. My laughter vanished in a moment. It had never occurred to me that there was anything but a superbly funny jokes in that acts of mine. And here I discovered that I had given the cruel pain to the tender's little heart. All the unlightness of my cruelly rose up to condemn me. I slunk out of the room in silence like a kicked dog. Hitherto I had only looked upon Kusum, the granddaughters of Kailas Babu, as a somewhat weatherless commodity in the marriage market, waiting in vain to attract a husband. But now I found, with a shock of surprise, that in the corner of that room a human heart was beating. The whole night thoughts I had very little sleep. My mind was in a tumult. I waited outside the door, and not finding anyone, I went upstairs to Kailas Babu's room. I heard from the passing Kusum asking her grandfather in the most winning voice, though the dearest, to tell him all that of the Chota Lal Sahib said to our assistant. Don't leave out a single word. That was the first and last time in his life that Kailas Babu confessed being poor. It was also the first and last time in his life that he forgot, if only for a single moment, the ancestral dignity that belongs to the Babus Narayan Jor. Thanks for watching.